What happens during their Tiger Walk is they walk out those doors, they walk past fans, they walk down a hill, and then they enter Jordan-Hare Stadium. However, the event staff gave them no response when they asked why they were getting kicked out, and they were escorted down the ramp and out the back of Mizzou Arena. Garrett, Tristan, and their friend Hayden Lee were driving to a friend's house one night in January. They were traveling along this road when they went out to the side. Now, this is Missouri's first trip to Vanderbilt since 1957. That game ended in a 7-7 tie. Neither team completed a forward pass. Now, these two teams will do a lot more than that. They'll need help from the most unreliable expert in all sports, the BCS. This is a 450-page document outlining the class action suit. As you can see, well, it's pretty lengthy. So I thought I'd simplify it.
You have about 10 times.
No matter the situation, Cameron Shower's mindset is the same.
One of those kids that goes 100 miles an hour at 110% all the time. When she was little, I used to always say she was like Bam Bam. And so I would come with Cam Cam.
That constant energy doesn't stop, especially when watching the Missouri Tigers and her favorite player, Emily Crane.
She's a really hard worker, and all the time that she's on the field, she always looks like she's giving her hardest.
But on March 28th, Crane sprained her MCL going after this fly ball. Finding out she would miss 2 to 3 weeks, Emily needed something to lift her up. In comes Cameron.
They all lined up and high-fived us. Well, after that, she walks up to me and gives me a TY Beanie Baby, and it's a tiger, and a card, and it says, like, I hope you get better. I can't wait to see you out on the field again. Love, Cameron, and my friend Tara. And it was such a cute little card. And so that whole game, I held the tiger. Its name is Oasis, and I was trying to make sure that I wanted her to know that I really appreciated it, and I wasn't just showboating it, but I wanted her to know that I really cared about it. So I was like, I'm gonna sit this tiger by me the whole game, and it really did mean a lot.
However, a day later, Crane found out young Cameron broke her arm in her own softball game, prompting Crane to give her a tiger that helped her get through an injury in high school.
She gave me this tiger, and I really liked my tiger that I had from surgery, but I was like, she needs this tiger more than me.
Did it come out?
Just for a second, then went back in. But instead of just sending the tiger to Cameron, Emily and her teammates made a surprise visit to the hospital with the tiger in what seemed like a dream to Cameron.
I thought I was asleep at first because of the medicine I was on, and I didn't think that they were really there. I was really surprised.
It was a moment that brought Cameron to a smile and a trip down memory lane for Crane.
And I just told her that, these girls look up to you guys, and I just thought that was awesome that they could do that for them, and that what great role models they are for the girls.
Growing up, you're that kid. You're the kid who looks up to everybody, and I always told myself that I wanted to be like those people. I'm just really happy to see that, the way that my little tiger helped me through my surgery 2 years ago is keeping a smile on her face, because it's tough being a kid and you want to play. I want to play now, but it's different because they think it's the end of the world, and I'm just really happy that I could help in some way.
An incident like that can go such a long way with a young kid. It can touch them for the rest of their life, and I'm proud of her for doing it.
Makes me feel like I'm an important part of her life, like I'm really special to the team and stuff.
Yeah, well, most collegiate baseball players dream of one day making it to the major leagues. The minor leagues serve as the stepping stones to that dream, but the struggles to get there don't necessarily begin on the field, but really begin off the field. Garrett Brushhouse is done playing, but he's not done making an impact on pro baseball. He pitched for the Missouri Tigers in the early 2000s. He dreamed of making it to the big leagues, but quickly realized his time in the minors was difficult.
The standpoint of the type of training that you had, and also the living conditions, it was actually a step down from Mizzou.
He's now a lawyer in St. Louis, where he's part of a group trying to change Major League Baseball. His firm represents 3 players, including former Tigers Aaron Senni and Mike Liberto. They filed a class action suit against Major League Baseball for unfair wages and labor practices for minor leaguers. This is a 450-page document outlining the class action suit. As you can see, well, it's pretty lengthy. so I thought I'd simplify it. Crunching the numbers, the minimum a major leaguer makes in a season is $500,000. For a minor leaguer in low A ball, they make anywhere from $3,000 to $7,500, which if you look at it is below the federal poverty line of $11,490. According to the minor league baseball website, the maximum a low-level A ball player makes in a month is $1,100. For a minimum wage worker working 40 hours a week, they're actually making more than the minor league player.
They're struggling to just eat at Subway for lunch and just struggling to eat breakfast on an average morning.
This ball is crushed to left. And it's gone.
Mason Katz, who dominated at LSU last year, now he's just trying to make it month to month.
You know, we go back home for the off season with less money than we came here with.
You also have to take into account minor leaguers don't get paid overtime despite working 50 to 70 hours a week. They are only paid in the 5 months they play and aren't even paid for any extra training they do, even spring training. But how does one go about this? There's no minor league baseball union. Brushow says most players fear complaining.
When you're just one person, who are you supposed to complain to? It's very, very hard when you're a young player that's chasing a dream to really try to change that system as a current player.
And for players like Katz, the living situation for most players is a disaster.
Guys would pile 5, 6 guys into a 2-3 bedroom apartment and a lot of times be sleeping on air mattresses. Some of them sleeping in living rooms of the apartments with no other real furniture in there. And that just didn't really make sense to me.
But some players may not agree with the current conditions, but certainly understand the opportunity in front of them.
When it all comes down to it, we're playing for the opportunity to one day make it. And that's why we signed up for, I guess. I have a degree, and so in some respects, I probably could have gone out and gotten a job that would be making more money, without a doubt. But this is my passion. I mean, this is something that I love to do, and I've done it since I was 5 years old.
Brushow is trying to achieve small changes that will make a big difference.
You know, it would help us out in the off season, being able to focus on baseball so we can come here more prepared rather than, okay, I got to work a job all day and I got to go hit at 9, 10 o'clock at night just in order to stay fresh.
We aren't seeking to turn every minor leaguer into a millionaire here. We're just seeking that they comply with the same laws at McDonald's and same laws that Walmart are complying with, where they're just paying a minimum wage to these guys in overtime. So they aren't going to suddenly get rich. The minor leagues are still going to be a proving ground.
And this is really only in the planning stages. Brushow says this could take years before anything substantial happens.
Now from the Ford Sports Desk, KOMU 8 Sports.
All right, more on that crazy finish in a moment. Wild day in Missouri sports. So first of basketball, Kim Anderson is a legend in the state of Missouri. Born in Sedalia, he played under Norm Stewart at Missouri, where he won the 1977 Big 8 Player of the Year with the Tigers. Now he's the head coach of the Central Missouri Mules, who today played for the Division II championship against West Liberty. Mules looking for their first title since 1984. We pick it up first half. Central Missouri's Dylan Deck, he hits the turnaround jumper, part of a 9-0 run for the Mules. Later on, it's TJ White with the steal and the layup at the other end. Central Missouri up by 2. But West Liberty would respond. Seeger Bonifant with a 3 of his own. Hilltoppers up 1. Then it's Cedric Harris. He hits the mid-range jumper, giving West Liberty a 9-point lead. That would be the biggest lead of the game, but back come the Mules. First, it's Jordan Epps knocking it down from 3 from the left wing. Then next possession for UCM, Preston Bruns with the 3 off the screen. A 1-point game, however, UCM would trail by 2 at halftime. Second half, off the miss, it's Charles Hamorth with the tip slam with some authority. It's a 1-point game. Later on, 3-point game. Good ball movement leads to another Epps 3. He finished with 11 points, game tied at 60. 7 minutes ago, KC native Dalen Robinson, he hits the 3, and the Mules were up by 3 after that, but West Liberty would respond. Cedric Harris, he hits the long-range shot, game tied at 68. but Robinson feeling it. He hits another three. The senior finished with a game-high 21 points. Anderson just loving it. Now a 2-point game, but Hamork puts the game on ice with a three, and the Central Missouri Mules end their championship drought. They win it 84-77, and head coach Kim Anderson, well, he is just in a state of disbelief.
What I just said, did we win? Oh, great job, man. What a great game. Great defensive play at the end, which we talked about at halftime. We had to do a better job. No, I can't believe we're national champions.
All right, back to the chaos at University Field. Last night, the Missouri Tiger softball team used an 8-run third inning to defeat the Georgia Bulldogs. Today, a little different. Going down to the final at-bat. To University Field we go. Casey Sagal, the freshman, on the mound for the Tigers. Bottom of the first, 2 runners on for Mizzou, and Mackenzie Sykes slashes one through the right side. That brings home Angela Randazzo, and it was 1-0 Missouri. More from Sykes later. Bottom of the second, runner on second for Mizzou. Sammy Fagan singles one up the middle. That brings in Taylor Gadbois, 2-0 Mizzou. Move forward to the top of the third. Georgia's Paige Wilson hits one to deep right center. That's good enough for a 2-run homer, and that ties things up at 2. Moving ahead to the top of the fourth, runner on third for Georgia, and they're going to get the sacrifice fly. Mackenzie Sykes' throw just a bit late. Bulldogs would go up 3-2, and that would be the score all the way until the bottom of the seventh. In the seventh, Taylor Gadbois leads off with a chopper over to shortstop's head, and then she steals second. She's a tying runner on second. Later in the at-bat, Angela Randazzo, she rips one down the left field line. That scores Gadbois, game tied at 3. Then, with runners on first and second, I said Sykes would do something, and here it is. How about a 3-run walk-off homer? Mizzou scores 4 runs in the bottom of the seventh. They win in walk-off fashion, 6-3. A big win for Missouri and head coach Aaron Earlywine.
We've lost so many of these heartbreaking games that the law of averages was just bound to catch up for us to win one of them. And sometimes that's all it takes to get a team, feeling good and confident and playing a little bit better.
It's just fun. There's no other feeling like it. It's just fun to get a good team win, and that's all we wanted. It wouldn't have mattered who hit that ball, or if it'd gone over, if it would have been a double, whatever. Just as long as we got the win, that's all that matters.
And former Auburn Tiger and Kansas City Royal Bo Jackson watching Missouri and Auburn on the baseball diamond. Mizzou looking for the sweep. Bottom of the first, it's Demek Tomshay with an RBI single through the right side. Jordan Ebert crosses the plate. Auburn up 1-0. Move forward to the top of the third. 2 on for Missouri. And Logan Pearson squibs one just out of the reach of the second baseman. Jake Ring scores on the play, and that would tie the game at 1. 2 batters later now for Mizzou. Runners on first and second. And Dylan Kelly is going to slap one into left field with the runners going. Eric Anderson would score on the play, and Missouri would take a 2-1 lead. However, Auburn would eventually get to Missouri ace Brett Graves. Bottom of the fourth now, 2 on, nobody out, and Auburn's Keegan Thompson singles through the hole in the right side. Blake Austin would score, game tied at 2. Now 2 batters later, J.J. Schaefer for Auburn. He's going to bloop one into right. That would score Daniel Robert. And Auburn had a 3-2 lead. Now, next batter, Mizzou looking to get out of the inning, and this looks like to be a double play ball, but it goes directly off Graves. Shortstop has no play. Everyone's safe. Auburn up 4-2. They would add 3 more in the 6th and defeat Missouri 7-3. However, Mizzou gets the series win, taking 2 of 3 from Auburn. And that's going to do it for sports.